we are getting ready for the final. About 30 minutes till we go there, but let's look at what the teams have fielded so far. We have a pretty graph here from Pandemic Legion. Let's have a quick look at what they've been fielding in terms of race. Sorry, this is Hydra, my mistake. We have a pretty big chunk of Minmatar and no Amar. Rowan, why no Amar?
I think that this just, it suits the way that Hydra play better. Typically, when I've seen them on Tranquility, they've been out in their legendary sniper nanomat gangs, or they've generally, I've rarely ever seen them in an Amar ship. So I don't know. It's a pretty kind of an even split between Minmatar and Galendi, and I think, to be honest, Minmatar and Caldari in particular are far more suited to the tournament than anything else. So it's a winning formula, basically.
Mm-hmm. It could also be very simple in that maybe they just don't have the dudes to fly the MR ships.
Yeah, this is true.
That does happen to some tournament teams. I mean, we see it with people who lose skill points from Tech 3 and just other situations where you just can't feel the team you want.
Absolutely.
We, of course, have the same statistics for Pandemic Legion as well. Let's take a look there. Now, there's almost no Galente. They swapped the Galente for the MR, basically, and have a heavy Minmatar presence as well. It's funny to see the high number of Minmatars because we see so many Caldari ships. Like, the Drake is so noticeable, the missile setups are so noticeable, and yet some of the really good teams are like overwhelmingly Minmatar.
Yeah, and I think the vast majority of those Amar numbers there are all from the one match.
That's true.
Where they fielded the all-Amar loadout with the 3 legions.
And with a Guardian and Curse thrown in other setups as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Which of course also tells us that Hydra Reloaded have never fielded a Curse, which is my favorite like utility ship.
Unless they found a magical Caldari Curse.
That's true, that's true. Unless they have that ship, which I doubt they have. But one never knows, one never knows. Anyway, the Curse is a fantastic ship. What exactly makes it so fantastic, Paul?
It's very versatile. It has immense NOS bonuses, or new bonuses, whichever you decide to fit. It's very good for track and disrupting, so if you come up against a turret-based setup, you can really do a lot of damage with it. As well as that, it's got the ability to speed tank if it needs to, or you can put a really heavy buffer shield tank on it. So it's one of those ships that you can just throw in with pretty much any setup and it always works.
It is one of my favorite ships. CCP Hammer.
Yes.
We've been talking so much about ships and the past expansion. If we look a little bit to the future, is there anything the players can really look forward to next expansion? Anything we're allowed to talk about?
Well, I mean, I'm probably not allowed to talk about anything, but let's just drop some bombs during the tournament.
Let's roll with it. I'll lock the door. Yes. Just keep talking.
Yeah. So recently, I don't know, only old players or people who've been with us for a while are going to remember Tom B. But Tom B used to be the lead game designer when I started. He moved to Atlanta and he'd been working at that studio there, but he's back now and he's on Eve. And he came up with, so he's a pretty big proponent of PvP, and that's like what he always liked to focus on. But he had this idea for a PvE feature. And he sort of championed around the office and drew stuff on the whiteboard and got everybody really excited about it. So we decided to go for it. And I'm gonna keep my cards kind of close to my chest, but it's a group PvP feature that escalates from system to system, that you can sort of join in when you want, but it's gonna evolve over time. And so we're just sort of starting like the initial design on it. So I mean, we don't even know ourselves exactly what the feature is going to be like, but there is one thing that's going to be pretty cool, is that there will be a never before seen NPC capital ship in there.
There is definitely going to be NPC capital. So this is basically going to be a feature for a lot of people, basically. It's not just going to be like a solo thing only.
Right. Yeah, the goal with it is to have something that a lot of people participate and cooperate with. There's a lot of things in EVE that are against each other, and we don't really have many things where you cooperate. So yeah, this is going to be along those lines.
It's going to be massive fun. Jerome, what do you make of this?
The details are a little bit thin on the ground, but yeah, it sounds awesome. I mean, anything that gets small groups of people together and gets them involved in PvP is outstanding. And it's a lot better as well because, I mean, I'm to the point with the corporation that I run where a lot of our guys have been with us for like 3-4 years, so they've gone from being in like college or university to like having kids and stuff and like real responsibilities out of games. So if it's a little more casual, where you can do it as and when you want, then I think it's going to be a big hit with the player base.
Yeah, I think so as well. And you know, getting people together is one of the great things about EVE. And I mean, it is a PvE feature, really. I mean, we have a lot of the fleet stuff where a lot of people can get together and do PvP, but we don't really have much that like encourages people to get together and make money, for example.
Yeah, and so with the balancing, for planetary interaction, for instance, we didn't want to balance low sec to be extremely better than high sec because it would be pretty easy to just set up some planets just bordering high sec and then have your bookmarks and everything and go in and just get your stuff out real quick. But for this feature, since you actually have to be there, we're going to be able to balance the rewards in low sec to be pretty extreme because you have to be there and you can get shot down, which is...
By Paul.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. Yeah, I think that's a really strong talking point among most of the people who are low-sec pirates and 0-0 PvPers. It's like high-sec has a lot of rewards. I won't say for very little risk because there's a lot of suicide murdering goes on. But then there's like this huge gap between where low-sec doesn't really offer that much, and then 0-0 offers a hell of a lot. So anything that kind of, well, not so much boosts low sec, but really brings the risk versus reward up, is an excellent idea in my opinion.
Yeah, and it does sound, well, if I have my little visions about what the beanie propeller actually looks like, given the vague information. I've seen things that in my head from other places that sound at least somewhat similar in certain ways. And I know that there was one thing I've seen before which ends up being kind of a pickup game. Where just like anybody who's in the local area can kind of join in or disappear as things are going on.
Right.
And I always found it, when I was involved in it, really cool because you're kind of getting a disparate group of people who may end up like the lone wolf and his rifter, forging friendships or not forging friendships and just moving on, but at the end being somewhat richer or having accomplished something useful.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you don't need to have that pre-existing commitment to have that fun.
I'd just like to draw your attention to Verone's glass quickly, where we see the effect of the LED. At this point, it has entirely collapsed in the ice cube funnel. This is a one-time experience in nature that I'd like you to just enjoy before we pass on. You're unlikely to ever see this in your life again.
This is actually the only day of the year this can occur, like the equinox, where you can balance an egg.
Does that only happen once a year?
One day a year.
I guess I'll have to give that a try.
It might be the summer solstice.
Or the vernal equinox.
Or the
We'll
equinox.
just keep
I was
balancing
right in the
eggs
first
and
place.
we'll know when it's
You know, whatever day it is, yeah, we'll just keep going.
every day. Yeah, but that is really, really cool. One of the things that you can always count on people doing, of course, is also going where the money is. So I mean, if it's a cool feature that's also rewarding, then hopefully people will go, well, you know, maybe I'll group together with my corp mates and spend an evening having fun.
Yeah, I mean, this what's been explained, the details are, of course, a little bit thin. They have to be for now, I guess. But if it's the kind of thing as well say a solo player in low sec who's just kind of milling around the place, maybe looking for someone to shoot, could like group up with a random bunch of other players, and they could just get in a gang together and they could go and do one of these things, then that's going to start forming bonds as well. And you might find that 3 of those people might be in the same corp and they drag that guy into their corp, and it helps everyone out. So it's back to social engineering again, and it just helps bring people together.
And of course, if the event is in low sec or 0.0, one might be inclined to come and
Shoot them.
shoot at them, yes.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. I mean, you're a pirate. Would you, Verone, engage in such terrible activities?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
What are your favorite movies rated? R.
The rated R.
Oh, you don't have, yeah.
Oh, the puns keep on coming. Anyway, we've had an amazing day. We spoke earlier about Pandemic Legion happened to have Sentinels, which do tracking disruption against a gun team. For new players watching, Verone, could you go ahead and just tell what tracking disruption is?
Well, it's changed a little bit recently. It used to just be the fact that you would you would activate a tracking disruptor on a hostile ship, and it would effectively slow down the speed of the arc at which a turret turns. So if you could keep your velocity up, both the speed of your ship and your transversal velocity, you could slow the tracking down on the turret, and you could basically outrun the gun, so it would miss you constantly. What they've done now is, with the advent of scripting that came in a recent expansion, they basically split it. So you can script the module now, and you can either affect the optimal range of the weapon and bring it down, or you can affect the tracking speed of the weapon. So you can do both, like either or. And it just basically makes people harder to hit fast-moving ships. So yeah, it's very viable in the tournament, especially when we see the speed setups.
It certainly is. It's cool electronic warfare. Before we go to the match, we have another feature we'd like to show you. Please stick around, enjoy the feature, and we'll be right back. We are edging closer to the final.